Oh, something's just popped up. Okay, yes, I think we are live. Are we? I'm just going to go with yes. We're live, Joe.
We'll just
Okay,
assume we are.
we'll just assume we are. We are live. So, welcome to the latest episode of Indie Bants with Joe and Jimmy. This is where we talk about indie games and indie news and just generally have a bit of a chat and a catch up and a bit of a light-hearted, chilled discussion about indie games, isn't it, Joe?
Not chilled out. Just lean it back. Lean it back and just chill. It's Friday. It's
It is
Friday,
Friday.
and that's something. Doesn't feel like Friday, Jim. I'm not gonna not gonna lie. It's
Well,
been a
you've had a bit of a hectic morning,
garbage
haven't you?
Friday. Yes, we've had a power cuts. So if I disappear, there's that. There's
It
a. I
hasn't
mean,
been assassinated.
folk folk might be relieved. Um, yeah, there's. Well, it's been the power. The go find the car. The car might be broken. Who knows? It's that kind of Friday, but at least it's Friday, and then we can chill and
Friday.
we'll see. But yeah.
Yeah,
So and new software, isn't it? This is why we're like, what
new
the hell is going
software.
on?
Yeah.
So,
Well, look at that. We've upgraded.
uh,
We've decided that it was time, wasn't it, to go a little bit more.
pro.
Well, I think to just save us a bit of a ball ache as well, because it was a bit of a faff the way we had the previous one set up. So it's like, well, let's get some software
Well,
to do it
don't
instead of
don't
us
don't
doing
speak too soon because it's been a bit of a faff this morning as well. By the time we got up, we've spent the last few hours
it.
trying to see if this flipping works.
It
So
seems to though. I
yeah,
think we're live.
we could just be chatting into the void. I mean, mostly we are, but
That's all right. No, we're important people with important things to say, and everyone is going to listen to us, Joe. That's why we do this.
absolutely. I mean, it's going to be a little trickier simulcasting to two
Simulcasting,
platforms. I think that's what it's called. Trying to look.
probably.
Well, we seem to be live on everything we want to be live on, which is going to be great for the audio version. They can just listen to us talking about technical achievements and our woes of this morning. They're like, "Are we live? Oh, the first 10 minutes, just are we live? Oh, who knows?" It's like, I
Is
don't
that
know.
is
I'm
that
listening
better
to a
than
podcast.
last week's preamble of no 2 weeks ago with roofs,
No,
Welsh slating
nothing
roofs?
will beat the roof banter. By the way,
No,
there's a
no,
there's that. Well,
yeah.
yeah, all good other than like no water, no power, all that kind of crap. New software though. That's
New
my week in a
software,
nutshell.
yeah, new software, but we've lost. Well, we temporarily lost Joe twice, but he's back, so it's all right. But it could. There's a chance he could go. So just be aware of the fact that Joe might disappear. I mean, especially if I was to just boot him out of the chat, I am in charge of it right now.
Yes, yeah, you're
Could
taking
do that.
the reins on this one.
I
We'll
am.
see if well we can
So,
alternate. That's the power of this software. We're not dropping names until they give us some damn money. That's the
there's probably some like branding somewhere on the
I
screen
know
that we
it's
haven't
just,
even noticed.
it's like
Brought
paid
to
to
you
have no
by.
watermark, and it's just
Yeah,
watermarks everywhere.
yeah.
Aye. So maybe we should chat about some indie games
We could
or
do. We could
roofs.
do.
I mean, all
I
good
don't actually have any
options.
updates about the roof this time, so
Ah,
I just don't have any roof content to share with you this time.
and your tax situation.
Tax situation hasn't updated either. It's all it's just regular indie games this time round. Actually, I'm not even sure if one of the things I want to talk about is an indie game, but it's so old and the studio is so small that I'm just going to call it an indie game anyway.
I'll jump in. Let us know. We're on the edge. Well, we're not on the edge of our seats because it's a chill out Friday podcast. We're actually
Yeah,
deeply
exactly.
reclined into
If
them.
anything, we've just reclined even further.
Yes. Well,
We're all
go for
reclined.
it.
Right, so this actually is. I was on Steam about, oh god, 2 weeks ago, I think it was, and I suddenly remembered the first game that I ever played years and years ago on PC back in 1997. The first game ever
Showing our age.
was. Uh oh. Oh. Joe's being. I think he's gone. I think he's gone, everyone. No, he's back. Are you back,
No,
Joe?
no, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, you
I'm here.
froze
I'm
up there
here.
for a sec.
Calm down. Calm down. I'm here.
Well,
Oh,
I'm on the,
it's not
we've
what
had
we
it
pay
twice
for.
this morning.
This.
But anyway,
Sorry, I
um,
said
so the
that was
game
just my
is.
age coming through. I didn't actually freeze. I just paused to think about what I was going to say. I was having a senior moment.
Okay.
Go ahead. So we're old.
Yeah, it is a game called Close Combat 2: A Bridge Too Far. It
Oh, what a game! I remember that.
it is ancient, and but you know what? It stands up. I found it on Steam for like £4, and I bought it just on a whim. But like, okay, just for the nostalgia. I expected to play it like once and be like, oh god, this is way too old. I can't do it. It is actually really good. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I've been absolutely smashing it. Oh, you know what? It's on 33% off as well. So if you want to grab a bargain, £3.34, get yourself on that. It's an old school real time strategy World War Two game, and
Is this
it
the one
is
where you
great.
had the like every unit you could like micromanage like how they move? Like you could have them crawl,
Yes,
run,
move
march.
fast, sneak, hide, defend,
Yeah, there was like
fire, and
just to get them
smoke
to
as well.
move, there was just a massive like drop down of like 8 things,
Yeah,
and
and
it was
it's
very.
like
It was like
it's
getting them in the hedges and shit, and like
yeah, yeah,
sneaking
but like
about.
there's no UI to tell you like what is and isn't good cover. You kind of have to
Just
click
hope it is.
fire and like move the fire thing along the map to see where the fire like cuts out from green to red. So okay, behind that is
Is
cover, so I
being
can go
covered.
behind.
Yeah, yeah.
And like yeah, it's I tell you what though, I remember when I was 9, the game felt very difficult. Even now, as a fairly seasoned RTS player, it is still nails, especially if you're playing the campaign as the Allies, because, well, for any history buffs out there, A Bridge Too Far is based on Operation Market Garden, which
Wasn't there
did
a
not
film as
go.
well,
There was, yeah, called A Bridge Too Far. It's actually a very good film, and
unrelated to the game?
it
I
was.
mean, in
No, it's
theme,
actually
yes.
entirely related to the game.
No, but I mean, what I mean is it was it's not the same people.
Oh,
It's not
sorry,
like
yes,
the
no, not
game.
the same
The
people.
game
No,
is based off the operation, not the film.
yes, yeah,
It's not the
but
game of the film.
no. But if anyone knows their World War II history, that operation did not go very well for the Allies as they tried to capture several bridges to allow the armored column, the British
This
armored column,
feels
to
like
make it
such a
through.
build up to a entire punchline.
No, it's not. But that's what it's on. So if you choose to play as the Allies you can choose to play as the Germans. I guarantee the German campaign is going to be a hell of a lot easier than the Allies one because my God, you like going into every single round in the early game with almost nothing against like overwhelming defense. So I'm doing all right, but it is nails. If you want a challenge and you want a decent little old school RTS, I would fully recommend Close Combat 2: A Bridge Too Far. It still stands up, I think, as a game. It's good fun. It's very there's a lot of cool and like little quirks with the like
The lack
the
of
dialogue and stuff like that. Yeah, it's
all right,
just
I was gonna say that, and a lot of well, in a complete absence of quality of life features. I'm guessing it's
yeah. I mean the way the movements of the units on the map is not great. I'm not sure what the technical term for that is.
like the pathfinding. Is it?
Pathfinding is not great on it. It's not terrible. It's not great. But if you forgive it those things because it is a 1997 game, I think you could have a lot of fun with it. As long as you don't get too enraged in the early game when you realize like how on earth am I supposed to win this? But stick with it. It's good fun. That's one of the games I've been playing anyway. Joe, what you been up to?
Well, me and the last played, and I'm gonna call it Gnog because if I pronounce it like gnome, I'm gonna be in trouble. But so this game is it's game experience. I don't know how you'd label it, but you've got this is one from a while back as well. I revisited it. I played it a bit in lockdown, I think. But you're essentially, do you remember the like Mighty Max Polly Pocket like clamshell toys of the 90s, the very
Oh,
tiny
I've
dolls
got a
and
Ninja
stuff,
Turtle one.
like the play sets and stuff?
Yeah, like they're about
Uh,
that big or something.
yeah, it was about this. It's bigger than smartphones now, but the idea is that it was like really
Okay.
tiny. It was a little clamshell thing that opened up and contained the like dolls or figurines within it, and then you could play with them on a little like, well, obviously the turtles would be like what, the lair, the sewers or whatever, and you'd have other ones where it was like Skull Castle and all that nonsense. Well, basically, this game is like sort of like an interactive toy in that kind of vein. So you're presented with this weird 3D model, usually of something with a face, and it just has lots of like buttons and levers on it, and it's a puzzle that your job is to basically interact with all the buttons and levers. You can manipulate the object and flip it round and you solve puzzles based on like what you can see, and you turn the dials to the right place and whatever. So me and the lass started that again. I was like, I think this is a game that you could have a good blast of. She doesn't play games very often, so it's not something where it's like, because you forget the like language of games is, it's understood if you've played games your entire life, but if you haven't, it's so weird to just like pick up a controller and just like move a character around in like 3D space and things like that. But
Yeah.
initially, she was like, I'm not sure about this. It's like she didn't like understand like which things you could click on and which things you couldn't. Whereas a fairly seasoned gamer would be like, that thing glows when I hover over it, so that's clickable.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like that. These things seem very obvious to us, but literally after like the first, call it a level, she'd got into it, and I think we completed in about, it's not very long, but we completed in about two or three sessions, and highly recommended just as like an experience. It's got like the visuals look cool. It's got very cool like sound design as well. Like every time you complete a level, the playset thing that you've just been manipulating, like starts singing along to like this victory song. It's so weird. It's just but well, I think we got it free on Epic. So if anyone's been claiming the free games on Epic, they've probably got it in their library anyway. But if not, I don't think it's very expensive either, and it's certainly worth the investment. It's currently 10 US dollars on Steam. Oh,
There it is. Look at that. Look at this new technology. We can try it out
oh,
and
as you
share
do.
what.
I
Look
thought
at
I'd
that.
done. I just opened the page. I was like, how did it do that? This is very clever. Yes, get the Gnog on the go. It's 40% off at the minute as well until the 20th of March. So you've got like a week to do
Nice.
it. I mean, audio listeners won't be seeing this, but Jimmy was just showing off a bit of the game. But yes, highly recommended. It's only got, that's quite sad. 388 very positive reviews on Steam, which very positive is good, but the small number of them, I was like, go out and give it a blast. It's 40% off. So yeah, we played that, and it was a thoroughly enjoyable experience. And it's one of these games where it's, even if you're not like clicking the mouse, you still feel like you're involved.
Yeah.
You can just point and be like, click that, turn that dial, twist that knob. Mm.
Bop it. Touch
Pop
it.
and twist it. Yeah. But yeah, that was one of them. So I've also been playing Train Valley 2 as well, which I'm not sure about. It's a little puzzle game, isometric puzzle game where you have like various locales, and you've got to like build train tracks between them and then run
Did we
trains.
play that on a stream or
No,
what?
that was Unrailed, which is another.
Oh,
That
okay, okay.
Unrailed is the cooperative game where you run around laying tracks so that the train doesn't derail. I think it was called
Hmm.
Unrailed. Yeah, yeah. And that one is a bit like that scene in Wallace and Gromit where he's laying the track and
Yeah,
chasing
yeah,
the
like
penguin.
yeah, yeah.
For those who know. No, this one is, you have like a little like, you have the locale with several. You have like a town that produces people, then you have various industries, and you've got to like move the people into the industries, and whilst there's a person in the industry, it does its thing and it like depletes the person, and basically you're just moving resources from one place to another, trying to get the final like required resources delivered back to the towns. And you're against a timer, and there are like various challenges. So the quicker you do it, you can pause the game in that, but it's the real running time is what gets you the most stars, essentially. So if you do it very quickly, you get the most stars. And there's other challenges like don't delete any track and don't do this. But the trains don't run like automatically. You set them away, and they'll just follow the path until they get to where they're going, or crash or whatever. So you've got to like orchestrate it so that you set them off at the right times, click on them to stop them so that they don't crash into each other, click on the what are train intersections called, the points, change the points so that they don't go down the wrong tracks or drive into other trains. And it's nice enough, but I'm not sure if I like I'm genuinely enjoying it, or if I just like it because there's trains in it. I know that sounds mental, but
So if
like
you're a train enthusiast, you'll get enjoyment out of this game, but if you're not, you might not enjoy it so
I
much.
just think if these were lorries, I don't think I'd be playing this game. Even if it was exactly no, but I mean, if it was exactly
Yeah.
the same and they would just change the trains for lorries, I
Yeah, okay,
don't
yeah.
know if it would have as much
So the
appeal
theme
for
is
me.
doing
It's a
more
lot of
for
the
you
heavy
than the
lifting.
actual game. Yeah, okay, yeah,
Oh
fair
yeah,
enough. And what was that one called, Joe, again?
that one is called Train Valley 2. I assume there's a Train Valley 1,
Well,
but
let's give it a
but
quick share.
have a look. Yeah, yeah.
Wow, they don't seem to have a website at all. All of the top things are like the stores. So I mean, I can still
Yeah.
share that anyway. So
Yeah,
we'll
have
just
a
give everyone a
get it up
quick
in
look
Steam.
at what it is.
75% off at the minute.
Is there a Steam sale going on? There must be, because everything
Oh,
seems to be on right now. There it is. Oh,
yeah.
it's got a nice look to it.
Yeah, do you see what I mean? Like it's very like appealing looking. If you can see, if you go through the screenshots on that, not great for audio listeners, but it would give you a better idea of it's like isometric. You build the tracks. You don't. It's like it's all self-contained. At least the levels I've done thus far. You don't have to scroll around. You can see the entire map at any given time.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, it looks nice.
it's a nice looking game. I mean, look, it's positively reviewed. It's from 2019. Uh,
Yeah.
but and again, I think this was another free one. Every so often, I jump into Epic and see what's in there. But I mean, if you you know if you get bored and you have Epic or a Steam library where you've bought bundles or Humble Bundle as well. I remember I think we've got thousands of games in there to go through. You know, when there was the
Hmm.
I don't know, was there a COVID bundle or
I
something?
think there was.
There's a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
support of cause bundles, and I forget what the causes actually were, which feel kind of bad. I was just going £5 for all these games, £20 for like 1,000 more. Yeah, let's do it, and not really thinking about what I was supporting. I was just lured in by a good deal.
A good deal. Oh, nice one. And
Also,
just
oh.
for, because we talked about it before, I do just want to share the old school brilliance of the screenshots of this. Look at this game,
Yeah.
man. Look at it.
Well, unless you're on audio, but it's exactly as Jimmy described. It's like it's top down, right? It's fully top
Top
down. It's not even
down.
isometric.
But like it had so many
It's
cool
old school.
mechanics in it, like the different, like the different numbers of floors in each building. So like if you're on a 3, you could see down across, further across the map than someone in a 2 or a 1.
So the buildings are numbered. This is the audio description. The buildings have numbers on the top of them, and the number indicates the number of floors in the building. I'm guessing.
That's it. Yeah, you had
God,
proper
it's
like
very old
lines
school
of sight.
micromanagey.
It
Yeah.
was. You had you got a full zoom out as well, so you can see everything on the map. You had victory points you had to capture. There was different types of terrain that would slow you down. There was infantry and tanks and stuff. It's like it really holds up. I was very surprised that when I went back into it, that it wasn't just purely a nostalgia hit for me. That I'm actually enjoying um, the game for what it is, rather than just I played that back in 1997. So yeah. The other thing I want to have a chat about, Joe. Now, I think we talked about this a few years ago on the podcast. It was one of the games I highlighted as a game that I wanted to play, and
Mm-hmm.
to my knowledge, anyway, I still don't think it's actually out. And I went on Steam, and it still says release date to be announced. So let me just share
That is
for the benefit of the viewers. That is Might of Merchants. Now, I don't
yeah. Let's
know
do.
what's going on, but this game looked really interesting to me. This top down again. I like the style of it, the sort of hand drawn nature of it. And I think the point of the game was well, here we go. Might of Merchants combines an economic and trading simulation role playing elements in a medieval kingdom. So I guess you were a merchant, and the idea was to like build up your empire, your e-commerce empire, um, or commercial empire, not e-commerce. It's not the bloody internet. Um,
The e-commerce empires of yore.
of the medieval age. Uh, so like to me, it looked really interesting. I really wanted to play it, but it doesn't seem to have come out now. Upon further research, it seems to me that the guy making it, when he was building the maps for the game, actually stumbled across a separate product, which is a map builder for people playing like D&D or games
Yeah.
like that across internet connections. So like like we did when it was all COVID times.
Yes.
So I believe he's kind of doubled down on that product, and that's doing very well as like a map builder
Yeah,
basically. So
is that the Canvas of Kings?
yeah, I think if I click on here, yeah, and go to Canvas of Kings,
Yeah.
and
So
that's been
that
very
came
well.
out a couple of years ago. Well, year
Yeah,
and a half
so
ago
he sort
maybe.
of pivoted into this because there was obviously a chance to build some cash off the sale of something that he'd actually built for his own game. Now I wonder if there's a lesson in there for other indie developers. Like, is there a way you can commercialize what it is you're building for your game anyway, like this guy's done? Obviously, there's a
Yeah.
particular thing where he's building maps, and it just worked very well for. Uh, it has other purposes, basically, other applications. But I hope that the other game is still coming out. I know this is doing well, and obviously he's going to stick with the thing that's making money. But I really hope that we do get to see Might of Merchants someday. So if someone who's watching this or who knows a bit more than I do about what's going on, if you could enlighten me as to whether or not we're actually going to see Might of Merchants as a game, or if this is now the sole product of Hans Brewer, if I'm getting that right.
I'm gonna look this up, and I think next time.
Because I would like to play that game. It looks interesting. I don't really have any purpose for the map builder,
from
but
the what is this? I don't know. Well, they're still active on Twitter/X. From
is
the
that
latest I can
for
see.
Might of Merchants, or is it just for the like map?
Both Canvas of Kings, Might of
Okay.
Merchants. It's the devs account. So a solo
Okay.
dev working on Map Maker and Might of Merchants. So apparently they're still working on it, and fairly active as well. There's I mean,
Cool.
last Twitter post was a couple of days ago with some, but like you said, it kind of looks like the map making product is their main focus. Obviously, they have to support it as well. If it's making money, I can understand why
Oh yeah, for sure.
they'd want to keep like working on it, updating it, ensuring it remains a viable product. But
Yeah, but it's just it's kind of just cool to see that through building something for a game, they actually stumbled across like, oh, we could actually, we've built this map builder for our game. Like, could we actually sell this as a map builder for other purposes? And it's worked out quite well for them. As I say, I do hope they get back around to finishing Might of Merchants as well, because it's been. I mean, when did we last do the podcast? Was that like 2 or 3 years ago? Like, it's been a long time.
yeah, I mean, well, I mean, it was 2 weeks ago. Obviously, we did.
Yes, yeah.
Obviously,
The-
the
before
taxes
the
and roof
reboot.
episode. Before the taxes and roof
Oh yeah,
episode.
yeah.
No, before that, I think we did a kind of post mortem of our trip to Guadalindi in Malaga.
Oh,
That was
yeah,
about a
yeah.
year ago. But the last time the podcast was really something we were doing regular was definitely 2 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago. I'm gonna have to rack my
It was
brains.
certainly that long
on
ago when I
that.
brought up Might of Merchants before. Anyway,
Oh,
it's definitely been a couple of years since I talked about that.
easily.
Pardon me.
Well, shall we move on to a couple of community games? We last time out we had one of the devs in the chat. First one is Uncursed. Feel free to hoy that up on screen if you can find it, Jim. But it's one of the devs in the chat were telling us about their piratey adventure game. It's not out yet, unfortunately.
There we go.
But we cute little pirate crack on. It seems, yeah, it's very early doors because it's going to come out in early access, but it's not even in early access yet. So it is, but want to keep an eye out on because it's a co-op game. Maybe something we can play in the future,
Yeah.
Jim. I know
What's
we
this
like a good.
reminding me of?
Didn't we play a similar? Not a similar. We played a pirate game. Oh,
We did.
audio from the trailer just started blasting through my headphones. Proper cacked myself.
Yes, we did play. That was that one where we could like design our own ship and we had to like attack the fort.
We
and
were
stuff, right?
isometric. That one was more. What is it like? Kind of like the art style was more polygonal than this one. Do you remember it?
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
for the life of me, I cannot remember the name of that
Oh,
game.
not the name, sorry, but I do remember playing the game.
We
Yeah.
played a piratey game where it was co-op as well, but it was not this one because that one was already out. That's how time works, isn't it?
This one kind of reminds me of like old school like Nintendo N64 style graphics. It's got that
Yeah,
kind of look
it's
to
got a
it.
kind of a resurgence. Got these kind of like flat, kind of like flat polygons.
Yeah, yeah.
Is the way to go. But yeah, if you're into pirates, and who isn't, you should go have a look at Uncursed, and obviously hide it on your wish list in case there's another game that I really wanted to mention as well because I came across this as another one, Sigillum or Sigillum. I have no idea how to pronounce it, but this one I saw this in local newspapers because the the local papers around here in the south of Spain did a little featurette on this about
All
a
right, nice.
horror game that is being built and based on Malaga city centre. Uh, with one locale being right round the back of my old flat, like literally, like I don't know how far you can explore. There's a wee square on this game I
Oh
saw in the
yeah, yeah.
trailer.
This
That's
one.
the one. I don't know if you were if from visiting Jimmy. I don't know if you remember round this neck of the woods. This was as you left if you left my old flat, instead of walking down the street it was on, if you went like straight across down a little lane, it literally led into this square
Right,
that this
okay.
guy has decided to pick as a spooky locale for his games. This is a
Oh, the one he's
Sigillum,
walking into right
SIG
now.
I double L. Yep. I don't know if we went to the restaurant round there. That across the way is is a fairly nice restaurant that I don't think we've been to, but we definitely walked through. That's my old street gym on the video up there again.
Nice.
It's like I used to have to walk. Well, I didn't have to. I could have not stayed out till 3 in the morning, but I did used to have to walk down these spooky arabesque alleys back in the day. But I saw this and I was like, I'm never going to play it. By the way, I'm sorry. Massive apologies to the devs, but anyone who's seen me play scary games knows it. This is not an option.
No, we
This is
should
not an option
definitely.
unless people throw stupid amounts of money at indie
No,
bandits.
well,
That
that
is the
definitely
only
needs to.
way.
There needs to
If
be a Joe plays scary games stream for sure. That's
if
just that
if
one
folk
set
will
of
pay
clips
for
we've
it.
got.
What was the one
Are
where
they
the
still
painting
on
fell off the wall? They'll be
are
on
they
the
s-
Twitch somewhere. That
the
was
Twitch
kind
on
of
it? If
moved away
anyone
from.
just search for indie bandits on the Twitch and go watch the clips of Joe playing the scary games, man. It's
Yeah,
entertainment.
I
Me
used
and
to be
Archie were
fine.
on that stream where you weren't there. I
Yeah.
think
Oh,
I was
I
like
mean,
almost crying with laughter most of the time watching you play those games.
you know what though? I was fine until PT. I was never bothered by scary games, and I kind of actually enjoyed them. And after PT, there was just this whole like this. I get in my own head with the like jump scares. I'm more scared
of like
of about to be scared
yes,
than the
yeah,
actual
yeah.
fright itself. So it
The
paralyzes me.
tension scares you a bit more than the actual scare.
It's the same with turbulence on a plane. I was a couple of days ago. It was rather bumpy on a flight, and when it's bumpy, I don't give a shit. Like whilst it's happening and you're in there and you can be thrown around, I'm like, yeah, this is fun. The worst is when they say there's going to be turbulence, but it's smooth, and I'm like, when is the plane just going to like drop? Not obviously out of the sky, but when is it going to lurch or whatever? Because if
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just constant and you're just bouncing along like you're driving along a dirt track, great. But if it's like, when's it coming? When's it coming? I'm like, digging me nails into the armrest going, I've got to prepare for this, but I don't know when it's coming. And I was like, it's going to shock me and I'm going to get a fright and I'm going to hate it. It's like, it's so weird. And I think this is all PT. Like, this is all because of
So
PT just triggering
it's
us
the
to.
it's the tension that gets you, Joe. Is it more than the
It's
actual?
just knowing. It's like if you said, I'm gonna punch you in the face, but I'm not gonna tell you when. I'll be like, no, just do it. Just absolutely, do it twice. Just, just like,
I
not go
don't
to
know
town
why,
on my
but
face. That's the wrong phrasing, but
I don't know why that's just reminded. Do you remember years ago when we were living in Newcastle when I was gonna do that elaborate prank of of making it seem like I didn't actually exist and that I was a
Oh
figment of your
yeah, yeah. Move on.
imagination. I had it like planned out a reasonable amount, but then it got to the point where I was like,
Yeah.
this is going to consume way too much of my
Oh.
time.
No, and the worst thing would have been that it would have got us. Like I think if you because the plan was you were going to move all your furniture out of the flat and
And
just
get everyone
it
else in on it as well. We're
and
like,
just
oh
say
yeah,
that Jimmy doesn't exist. I mean that
but
would
he never existed, Joe.
like yeah that would be it would just get
I was even going to go as far as to get the photos that we had from our trips,
just
get them redone, but with me photoshopped out
yeah
of them.
just they're just photos of me on my own.
Yeah, I mean, it was only going to last like a couple hours because the illusion would have been destroyed very quickly. But like, just for that
I
initial,
don't know if it
like,
would have. I mean, it
it would
could
have.
have.
You would have called me mom or someone, and you would like, I don't know. I mean, it would have fallen apart pretty quick. But
Or
like,
I
just
would have
for a
got
period,
sectioned.
all that, yeah.
I
But I
would
just
just be
like
like,
to
I've
think.
imagined this person, like, turned myself in.
I just want to imagine that, like, for 10 minutes, you would have been genuinely convinced that I was entirely a figment of your imagination.
The early noughties where comedy gaslighting was a thing. But, yeah,
Uh,
maybe not that.
yeah.
It was a.
Hey,
So yeah,
maybe that's
not
a
none of
that's a
that.
premise for a game.
Uh,
Someone make it.
where it just uninstalls itself when you're done and it deletes itself off the internet, so that you complete the
No,
game.
that
And go, I
like
definitely played that game.
that you have to do pranks on people, like
Right.
elaborate pranks.
Like Trigger Happy TV, the game.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work, but that would be fun. Do that, somebody.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a so sorry. That was a Sigillum, currently in production as well as the game. Very early doors, kind of what would you call it? Like a lo-fi aesthetic. This kind of a Nintendo DS kind of graphics, if you want to put it that way. Do you remember the like sort of pixelated but 3D? Like a lot
Yeah,
of
it reminds me of like the old school like shooters, like the original Doom and Quake and stuff like that. It kind of had
yeah,
that
but
look
with
to it
like
for me.
with 3D. Yeah, it has this kind of like pixelated effect on the 3D models, but
Yeah,
yeah, looks kind of too spooky for me. Maybe I think we'll see
I
though.
think
We'll
that
see
style
though.
kind of takes the edge off it a little
It,
bit, like the
no,
more
no, it doesn't.
realistic.
You're
No,
wrong.
no.
No. It could
What's that
be.
game? That like really scary game that people play? It's like super popular with streamers. That didn't have a very realistic
Hang on.
style actually, but that seems to
I don't
be.
know. There's the
No, there's one that's like insanely popular for a period. It was like it was all of the clips were based on people playing this horror game. He playing as like a young lad like running around a scary house or something trying to open doors and look for things. I can't remember what it is.
Is it Hello Neighbor?
Oh, I don't know.
Where you like creeping around your neighbor's house basically. Your neighbor keeps showing up. There's a lot of this like gameplay loop kind of games where you have to like mill around somewhere and something's like not necessarily chasing you but looking around for you or patrolling for you and then it like shows up. That's a go to shit your pants mechanic essentially.
Yeah, oh, I can't remember. If someone else can give me an idea of what that was, I don't remember what it was called, but yeah, I'm sure you were like walking around a creepy old house and you were trying to like find stuff, and there was something chasing you or occasionally appearing. But that was very popular. I remember for a long time with streamers in particular. There's lots of people playing that game and providing some excellent clips of people getting scared. I think that's one of the best.
Yeah, that's
One of the
the
funniest things you can see is people pooping their pants playing a video game.
yeah.
It's very funny.
The only issue I have with that and with streamers is obviously because
You've pooped your pants.
well, you can't even see that on stream really unless you're wearing white pants and stood up and you have like a weird second camera just focused on your pants. But
Yeah.
no, it's the this kind of like I understand like stage persona and stuff like that. Like you've got to when you're creating content of any kind, you've kind of got to up the ante. Not something that I think is really for us old fogies or whatever. But it's just this kind of thing where you're like, I don't know how genuine the reactions are, and I find it hard to
Yeah,
engage
yeah.
because everyone seems so fake. the thing is, like, my reactions were never hammed up, which is why we never went back to it. Like, I feel I could have been like one of these horror streamers, except my heart would have exploded. But it's just sometimes where, like, I don't know if these people are genuinely that scared or just ham it up because it just
I'm just
you
thinking
know,
of some of the
it
clips
works.
again. Oh,
It's
there's like one of them which is hilarious. Is the one where you open the chest or something? It's like there's one clip in particular of all of them that just I don't know. I occasionally
open the
go
chest,
back
there's
to it.
something in it, and I'm like, nope, 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 nope. It's like there's a baby doll or something. It is
So
like,
just the scream. It was so
nah,
good.
but that's yeah, it's not for me. And yeah, in with the streamers, it's I find a lot of them. One, I can't watch them because they're playing a scary game, so I'll get scared. But two, even when I've seen clips of it, it's like clips like in a tiny like window, like no window on like within a like a post on
Mm,
social media. Even then, you kind of like, oh, I don't know. It might be okay if it's just in a tiny little tweet, and I can watch their
yeah,
stream, and the game is like half a tweet, and they're the other half of the tweet. But then you're like, yeah, I don't know how scared they really are. If it's just this kind of like internet world of things being
yeah. I know
being
they might
very
not be,
very fake,
um,
but
but even then, like sometimes it can just be. Even if it's not necessarily 100% genuine, sometimes the reactions are still funny. It's like when remember Top Gear when it was the original.
yeah, yeah,
Like you knew that all of that was being put on, like some of the ridiculous
yeah. Not
situations you got
everything's
into.
like trains, planes, and automobiles or whatever. It's not a
Yeah,
whole
but
like
it was still entertaining. I mean, I know they
the
didn't
Amazing
actually like
Race. That
destroy
was the
that
kind of
guy's
thing.
car or whatever. It's like, they probably bought an extra car and pretended it was someone's, but it's still
Yeah.
funny.
And they never all arrived at the destination within seconds of each other. It's like,
No.
oh, let's race from like London to Madrid, and like one of us takes a really nice car, and the other one gets a plane, and then the other one like goes by train, but we
Yeah, yeah.
time it so that includes all the time, and they arrive within minutes of one another. It's like, yeah,
There was the occasional one where they arrived hours after each other, but yes, for the most part, it was always very close, wasn't it? But I mean,
yeah.
it was still entertaining.
Anyway, yeah. So maybe we should leave it there.
Wrap it up
It's,
there. Wrap it up
yeah,
there. As a
wrap it up.
quick
Over,
30 minutes, or just slightly more than 30 minutes
yeah,
actually. What we at?
overran a tiny bit. Our apologies. You get 8 minutes of bonus content on on Top Gear and our opinions on streamers. I think.
Just one final
Oh
reminder
yeah.
to everybody, though, to go to Twitch and find those clips of Joe playing the scary games.
What a pointless CTA. But yes, they're off. I think we did save a couple of clips. I don't even actually need to check if that Twitch account is still active or existing or
Oh, I
whatever. It's
hope it
been
is. We
years
need
since we
those
touched it.
clips. We need those
I
clips.
know.
Oh,
We'll
and
go.
obviously, before we rock off, the best place to get Indie Bandits content on a regular basis, apart from this podcast, obviously, is look at that. Look at that. The magic of technology is to
Oh, that's good.
subscribe to the Indie Bandits newsletter. So I think you can click that link. I don't know. But if you
Uh,
can, that'll take you straight to the subscribe. And we're going to
I
be
doubt it.
bringing the newsletter back. So that's going to be coming out probably once a month initially. And then we'll see. But that's going to include all of the podcast content, additional content, community games, etc., etc. So that's the best place for the Indie Bandits content. Make sure you subscribe. It's all completely free, and we're not going to waste your time with it either.
No,
I
and
hope
I
not,
think,
anyway.
and depending on uptake and how people like, obviously said the idea is to have a monthly emailer of just useful stuff, the kind of things that anyone who is interested in indie games would want to look at and read or watch. We'll try and like add our own stuff, show what we've been doing on the site, as well as stuff curated from around the internet and around the world of indie games and indie game devs, so that basically that's it's worthwhile reading, like an actual newsletter, which
Hmm.
is what emailers used to be for until they became flyers. Essentially, that's what most things you sign up for. It seems to be selling you something. We're not selling anything, and obviously if it's popular enough and we feedback always welcome. We'll there's the scope to expand it and obviously send out more regular emails, but that's something where we'd segment the audience, and it means you'd only get the things you'd be interested in. It wouldn't be a
Yeah.
case of just bombarding your inbox But to start, we'll have this monthly emailer.
Yep. So I'm just going to do it again because I've got the power to. Boom! Look at that. There we go.
There for
Click
audio
that.
listeners, a thing that says subscribe to the IB newsletter came up.
Yeah, you're gonna have to just Google it. Sorry, there's nothing I can do about it.
Just go to indiebandits.com. Really, it seems. I mean,
indiebandits.com, and then you click newsletter and then go sign up. That's the best way to do it if you are an audio listener.
yes. And
you know what I want to add to this now that I know I can do that.
big explosion noise.
The like the.
That's not very good. You mean? Sorry for anyone listening on headphones. I'm just blowing out their eardrums. What you gotta do is you gotta do it into a cup.
That like weird audio noise, yeah, that thing.
Yeah, the air horn.
That, so when I click on the newsletter thing, it plays that alongside it because that won't be annoying at all.
You know what? We wouldn't be the first people to have a podcast or stream where we use the air horn. It's
and we're not going to be the last.
No, it's timeless, really. The DJ air horn effect.
DJ air horn effect. Right, everybody, that's going to be it. So we're gonna go off now and get back to our lives, I guess.
Yep, that
and
seems like a disappointing plan for us.
You can go back to power cuts and chasing your car around town, I guess.
Yep. Yeah.
And I'll go back to well, I've got nothing exciting today.
I was going to say something wildly inappropriate. Let's end this before it gets too silly.
Okie dokie. Right. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and see you in a couple of weeks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.